Okay, if you're watching this video, you should have already gone through your Math of Finance overview homework and chosen the correct formulas for the problems that I listed. So if you haven't done that, I need you to stop the video, go back and read the directions and do that part first. All right, if you've already done that and you're here to check them, let's go through this real quickly. Number one, you really just had to put a formula for part A. This one, kind of the key word is, let's see, simple interest. All right, once you get simple interest, you look over at your formula chart. So I'm going to flip over to that real quick. Here are your two formulas for simple interest. You can actually use either one. I think this one is easier, so that's the one I used. All right, let me clear that off before I go back. All right, so number two, we're asked to find APY. So again, if we flip over to the formula chart, here is APY. So here are the two formulas we're looking at. We've got this one and this one. We only use the second one when we see continuous compounding. So if we go back to our worksheet, this one we do see continuous, and that's why we use the e to the r minus 1. On the second one, we're compounding quarterly, so we just use the regular formula. On number 3, we're compounding semi-annually and weekly. Neither of those are continuous, so we stick with that same basic formula, 1 plus I to the m minus 1. All right, on number 4, we have compounded quarterly. So we know we're doing compound interest, and we want to know what is the future value. So if I look over at my formula chart, here's compound interest, okay, all of these. Okay, I didn't see anything about continuous interest, so that one's out. So now I'm down to these two. Notice the first one says if you know the principal and need the future value. That's what we were given on that problem, so we're going to use this formula. All right, let me clear off my mess there. All right, so we used that basic formula, and it turns out number 5 is the same. We're compounding monthly, and we know our starting value, our principal, and we want to know how much will you be able to withdraw in 10 years. So it's asking you for future value. So once again, if we flip over here, if we know the principal and need the future value, this is the formula that we use. All right, so that takes care of the first page. If we move on to the second page, number 6, the key word for this one is compounded continuously. Okay, we're given the principal, right? So this is P, and we know we're compounding continuously. So if we go over to our formula chart, here's compound interest. This is the only one that deals with continuous interest, so that's the one we have to choose. All right, and then we get into number 7. Really, there's only formulas for A and C. And this deals with monthly payments. It might be car payments, house payments. Okay, so you're looking for this idea of a monthly payment. So if we flip over to our formula chart, notice right here, right here, this involves car loans and house loans, and we only have one formula for that. So that's the one we're going to be using. All right, so we're going to use that for A and C. And then if we move to the last page, it's really just number 8 on this one. This one's probably the trickiest one. We're asked what lump sum should be deposited into an account earning 3.75% compounded monthly in order to grow to $300,000 in 20 years. So notice what we're given is the future value. We want our money to grow to be $300,000, right? That's not what we have now, that's what we want to have in 20 years. And so what they're asking us for is P. So we need principal, and we're given future value. So if I flip over to my formula chart, I'm back to compound interest. Okay, so it wasn't a car loan, a house loan, anything like that. This one is if you know the future value and need the principal, so that's exactly the situation we had on number 8. All right, so once you've got all those formulas down, now you can go back and you can go ahead and work your problems.